This is Mitch Carr. My friend Mike Rogers was raised in Colorado, graduated from college there too, but Big D is where he was born and where he makes his living today as the morning news anchor at News Radio 1080. Mike landed his first radio gig in Grand Junction, Colorado in 1982, but by 1985 he was Beaumont bound. He worked at KWIC, getting a baptism not by fire, but with the help of a couple of nasty hurricanes that slammed the Golden Triangle. And when things weren't soaking wet, they were smoking, as Mike was on the scene covering countless mishaps at refineries and chemical plants. Beaumont Port Arthur is the perfect training ground for many a radio and TV news star, and Mike ranks right up there with the best of them. In 1987, DFW's Magic 102.9 gave Mike his break into the top 10, first as KMGC's morning show producer, and then as anchor of the afternoon news. And then in 1992, the 50,000-watt KRLD was in need of a street reporter. And as luck would have it, Mike was in need of a job. His irreverent style of feature reporting quickly earned the name The Other Side of the News, and it soon became a daily feature, heard to this day on KRLD and the Texas State Network. Mike's duties have changed over the years since '92. He became the afternoon anchor in 1998, and then in 2005 he picked up the early morning headphones. During his time at KRLD, Mike has reported on half a dozen presidential conventions, both Ross Perot campaigns, flooding along the Mississippi, and the Branch Davidian standoff from beginning to end, including live coverage of the fire that ended the siege on the 19th of April, 1993. Mike's won several statewide awards, and after 30-plus years in radio, still loves what he does. Hey, to wake up daily at 2 a.m., you have to. His family and friends are with him today, and it is my distinct privilege to introduce my friend Mike Rogers, a 2018 inductee into the Texas Radio Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate everyone being here today. This is a real honor, I got to tell you. I want to start. Where's Josh Halstead? Where is he? I know he's here somewhere. He's hard to miss. There he is. Josh, thank you so much. Everything that you've done here is, I mean, it's obvious that this is a real labor of love, and it's fantastic. The work you've done. Thank you so much. Josh, by the way, is also the guy who warned me that if I went over 2 minutes up here, he was going to come up on stage and punch me in the nuts. I believe that's what was in the email. That would be fun to see at the Oscars, wouldn't it? If someone went over instead of the music to have Josh come up. Thanks to everyone who has encouraged me over the years and helped me. And at the top of the list is my family. They're all here today, and includes my wife, Martha, who doesn't get much sleep because, you know, when I get up at 2 in the morning, she has to wake up too. Of course, she gets to go back to sleep when I leave, but the encouragement over the years has just been amazing, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. One of my 2 daughters is here today. The youngest, Juliet, she's right there. The oldest, Maggie, is actually watching on FaceTime right now from New Zealand, where it's 7 o'clock Monday morning. Hi, Maggie. I think back, Mitch, in his piece, mentioned Beaumont, and that's when I had come back to Texas. I'll never forget the boss, my news director, Mike Sockel, driving me around town, showing me Beaumont, and I couldn't help but notice these big holes that were eaten in the sides of a lot of the cars, you know, the fenders, the quarter panels, and I said, well, I guess that just, we're so close to the ocean, that must be the salt air, right? He said, no, that's the benzene from the refineries. And you know what? I took the job anyway, and I loved it. I loved Beaumont, Port Arthur. It was a great place. It was a great place for me to learn. It was back in the 80s. I was in my 20s. Loved it. Our studios were out on Finette Road. It was an old converted funeral home, one of those East Texas funeral homes with the circular driveways, you know. It had the porte-cochere in front for the hearse to pull through. And our newsroom was in the middle of that building, and it was this long rectangular room with no windows. And I'm pretty sure that's where they had the slab laid out, where they would lay the bodies out. That was our newsroom, so appropriate somehow. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up by saying how truly humbling this is, especially on a day like to go into the Texas Radio Hall of Fame with Bo Roberts and Jim White. Bo and Jim, legends in Dallas forever. I mean, I know you hate it probably when people say, I listened to you when I was young. I listened to you when I was young. And so that's a real honor. Mark Watkins, inductee from last year, drove all the way down from Arkansas to be here on this day. For me and Mark, thank you so much. I've worked with a lot of the people on these plaques over there, more than I can possibly name, and I learned from each one of them, and I was inspired by each one of them, and to be included in that group myself now is truly an honor. Thank you very much.
Michael, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Protect yourself.